Hi, my name's Fawnover, and I'm going to show you some pathfinding that I've been working on. I've been working on this all day, and I am kind of done. So if I sound a little exhausted, that's why. I had to recreate this because my original level, everything crashed, and now I can't open that level without the game crashing. So that's lost, but I recreated just a simpler version just so that we could take a look at things here. So if we start over in this first room, you can see that we have blue men and green men. Now, the blue guys, all of them, and everyone that you see in this level, they're using a method of pathfinding using 3 lasers. So these 3 lasers shoot out one on both sides and in the front, and it detects when there's a wall in front of them and tells them to rotate. So if there's a wall on their left side and in front of them, they'll turn right. If there's one on the other side, they'll turn left. And so this creates a really effective form of pathfinding, and you can adjust you'll need to adjust the length of the lasers in order to correspond with different environments. A very dense environment will need a shorter laser because you don't want the puppet to see anything too far away, otherwise it'll influence its path. While in an open space, you may want it to be way larger, the laser to be way longer, so that it can detect when it's getting near something that it doesn't want to be close to, like a wall. So the green guys are also detecting not only the scenery like everyone else, but they're also detecting each other. So they will try to turn away if they see themselves about to bump into each other. Now this unfortunately also means that if their lasers hit their own bodies, you might see them glitch out a little bit. And there are ways around that, but I just didn't worry about getting into it now. So if we move over to the other space here, or actually before we do that, I should also note that the lasers are based on height. So they're at a certain height relative to the puppet's body. So you could potentially have multiple lasers, like some that say, oh, this is down below, we should jump. This is in front of us, we should turn. This is above us so that we can duck. So I just wanted to say that before we move on. So if we move over here, you may not actually be able to see what's happening, or you may not be able to tell, but there is pathfinding, the same exact pathfinding that's going on over here, except the lasers are set to hit things that are also invisible and aren't collidable. So there's actually a wall that you cannot see surrounding these guys, and their lasers are... But while their lasers are reacting to it, they can walk off the edge. In fact, this is really disappointing, but I had 3 times as many men that are here in this circle beforehand, but as your level fills with logic, the AI, the amount of logic the system is able to process is not very much at all. As you can see, we don't have too many NPCs, maybe enough to fill like maybe a small town, and even then they're not even doing all that much. We don't have a lot of geometry going on, and they're not doing anything but just walking around randomly. And with any more men than I have now, they will just all simultaneously jump off of the edge because they cannot handle the pathfinding. It's really unfortunate that the system can't handle so much right now, but again, this is still in beta. It's February 1st right now as I'm recording this, so hopefully they improve that. But I was still really impressed that we could pull off something like this at the very least. And I'm surprised that I hope that I'm the first one to publish anything related to pathfinding and AI in Dreams. I was surprised that nothing came up when I searched, but I hope that this helps you develop your own levels, and I definitely recommend going into edit mode and studying the heck out of what's going on here in the wiring. The wiring is very tricky, but the concepts are really easy. So this is another concept that is that in theory it's really easy, but the wiring is really tricky. So if you look at these red guys, each of them have a zone attached to them, and once they walk into a tag, then they will be set to follow another tag on the other side of the room. Now, they all have the same pathfinding as everyone else, but you can see that this tunnel here is really narrow and really jagged. So their pathfinding would hate that, and it's pretty rare that they would even make it through that hole to begin with. However, once they walk into the tag with their zones, then they'll be able to go through. Now you could do this an alternate way and have zones on the outside recognize tags on the inside of the puppets. However, this means that if you have multiple puppets that are supposed to follow this path, that all of them will be activated once they walk into the zone instead of just one at a time. So that's why it's better to have the tags on the outside and zones on the inside. Now another thing here, if I don't forget what I was going to say. Yeah, I think I just forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, this is really cool. Oh, maybe that's what it was. This is really useful if you have sorry, I have to keep starting new recordings because the recording time on these are so short. You can, it's really useful if you need to put AI on a specific path. You could use multiple tags in order to achieve this, so that they could go through complex controls. And you could even trigger this to shut off their pathfinding, because I know that the pathfinding sort of makes things look a little wonkier. And you can also edit the following speed and all that, but it's just very simple. But when you can definitely see that once you start layering these different forms of pathfinding and playing with your environment as well, then you can really create some pretty complex AI in a fairly short amount of time. Especially if this is mixed with following a player character or attack patterns, or a detection zone or anything like that. So thanks for hanging out with me and looking at my level. Hopefully you'll be able to see more stuff from me soon, and hopefully dreams will come out soon. Thank you, Media Molecule, again. Media Molecule, please look at my bug reports about this crashing my game and about the possession recording, because possession recording is incredibly broken right now for complex movement. So I just had to throw that in there, but all possession recording and action recorders are awful for very complex and long movement. It seems like anyone who wants to create any sort of long narrative experience, long form narrative, or any long form possession or complex possession, the system really works against us right now. So please check out my bug report on that if you can find it. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Please follow and like me. Bye.